Here we
Okay,
go.
there it is.
We have one on the flank again to go pocket and fire flank. So I think Brazilians will prefer that.
Yeah. I think this is one of the better setups.
Yeah. Fires TC fairly close, but nice. Looks fine.
The ghost stone is bugged a little bit. It has 3 open sides. I'm not sure about the rules, but
I'll have a look now. I'll get through the others. Depends how bad it is, and stone isn't as crucial. It depends if it's first or second stone as well.
it seems to be his first stone, but the second stone isn't
Yeah,
much farther.
that's fine. I wouldn't really class that as spect.
Okay, fair
You can
enough.
probably get to those 3 there out of the 5. Maybe not, maybe 2 out of 5, but it'll be stone. I mean, sometimes in this instance I give players the option. But if that was gold, then yes, I would.
Yeah, it would have been different, of course. Mysterious stone is not that.
But it's not that important because you can still take that stone and he can still actually get on this stone. He's not going to be getting on that stone with 7 or 8 villagers like he would be on
No,
gold.
indeed.
So no, I'm not too worried at all. I'm not even going to message. This is fine.
Okay, so we got Vikings versus Vikings on the top half. And Huns versus Huns, if I'm not mistaken. On the bottom half as well. So we have a perfect mirror.
Timo.
And I have to say, no one seems to have a really bad map. Most people have their gold out of range of the water.
Awful spot for the go, really, with his fishing or anything. I mean, he could probably get a little bit if he docks his back right.
Yeah, indeed. Only the back has a high amount of fish.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
But
you
all the other
wonderful
spots
man!
are
Somebody
quite bad.
donated. I'm sorry I couldn't see who it was. Can you see who it was? Somebody donated, I assume. It didn't come up my in-game screen, guys. Sorry, but I did hear the somebody donated. Thank you, you wonderful man.
It was Will Work for ice cream. Thanks for the donation.
Thank you, Mr. Woolwork, for ice cream.
So Lang's gold, one of his goals is close enough to the water to be harassed, I think, but his other goal is completely fine. And actually most of the goals this game seem to be far enough from water. Only the second mines are often a small problem.
Fire's got a lovely sort of fishing spot area, but I don't particularly like his map as you go down. It's all, I don't know, just seems congested. Watch him. Did he get enough on that ball?
I love how he lures the ball with the sheep.
No, I didn't. I think I was watching that. I think, did he get enough? He didn't get enough. That ball doesn't want to play, mate. You're gonna have to use a Vil. That's gonna delay Fire a little, and that's his first ball as well. Is he gonna go back and risk his scout? He may as well, I suppose.
Yeah, scout isn't that important. If you found all your core resources,
I know he
I
doesn't
do not
really.
expect a transport ship.
He's got quite a big amount of land, though. He doesn't really want to be losing that scout. He's got a huge expanse down here that he needs
that's
to
true.
keep an eye on. But I think, I don't know. No, I was thinking that the 2k4MyAss had a better fish advantage, better spots, but I'm not sure why Fire has put his first dock so far down into here. That's turned out to be one of the worst spots he could have picked.
Paladin lost his scout to a baller, by the way.
Naughty boy.
Next to the berries.
He
Let
took
me
the
see.
ball.
So we got a dogs.
He took it with a
One's
Vil,
dog
did
is
he?
pretty good, actually. I mean, he can use it for navy production in a good spot, and it has a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Lang's dog seems fine as well. Not an awful lot of fish, but enough.
It's a nice back spot.
Not sure about Moonlight. Sorry, about Paladin's dock. However, it seems there's only one fish in the neighborhood, really.
Yeah, well, Paladin's taking the risk to go towards the middle rather than up above where that relic is. I mean, he probably doesn't want to risk going so far out of the way when his allies have gone back docks. But I think he would have been, although there's a long delay going down the bottom left spit of his island. So yeah, he's probably picked somewhere that he hopes is a bit safer, because initially fire's going to go round the back.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah,
The gal is currently fishing off the shore fish. Really a bad spot, but his fish map wasn't the most beautiful one, to say so.
no. Well, he had to go all the way to the back corner of his island to get any decent fishing.
Yeah, but that of course costs extra villager time and only delays you even more.
There's not a lot to say or show, sorry guys, this is islands, it won't really start
Yeah.
until...
I don't cast often, but I guess the water maps are my favorite thing to do.
One's going to be first step, but I mean what'll save Lang is Lang's gone back docks, so Wan doesn't have a clue where, so he's going to head straight off and assume that Lang's gone forward docks as well. So by the
Fire
time...
is only a little bit earlier than Paladin, but they are quite close in docks. So I'm not sure how much he can do in the meanwhile. It's only 22 seconds.
Yeah, Fire has no clue where Paladin is. None of them seem
Yeah.
to have any idea where the others' docks are yet, so they're just going to assume standard positions, which is why I think Paladin will have time, and Lang will definitely have time.
Yeah, indeed. He's probably going to scout at the back first, because that's probably the most common spot to dock.
Moonlight's going quite late with a lot more villagers, so he's obviously going to go straight fast castle.
Ah, really interesting. It's a more common choice as pockets, of course, but
But you
very
can see
interesting to see those early war galleys.
he's fish booming.
Yeah, indeed, the double dock on fish. Getting a
Whereas
third one now.
the Gaus are terrible fish to get up there, so I think it'll be a bit of a changer maybe. I mean, Lang's going to have time, Paladin's going to have time, because Wan's not going to find his docks, and I don't think Fire's going to find Paladin's docks, so it'll be, I think Moonlight will be coming into this as a bit of a game changer as the game goes on now.
By the way, I have to say, the Gao is quite far away from the spots his teammates are likely going to fight. And by the way, Fire also just spotted Paladin's dock, and is sending his galleys that way.
Yeah, but by the time he gets there, Paladin's going to be out as well, so Fire's
Yeah, he has
slightly...
his two galleys out as well, and he
Quicker
might even
speed
use
is
his
nothing.
villager, creating the dock.
Wan has found, if he stays on Moonlight, that will help Wan.
Yeah, it will be
Oh,
great
he's
for
going
one to
away.
actually get on those fishing ships, because he is not even feudal yet.
But he's just
Because-
highlighted, he just flared it for Dagao and told him where the pocket is and left and gone back, because he obviously wants to fight with Lang, but it's a shame because he could have really hurt Moonlight down his pocket with nothing at all to defend.
He is sending 5 more galleys though, so he might actually go around the back. Because you see his 2 galleys just finding
but-
Lang's first dock coming
but
from the back. I'm not
yeah.
sure if he wants to flank and catch his fishing ships off
No,
guard.
I think he will, once he realises that that's where Lang's docks are, I think he will then send his main galleys, those 5 galleys, back to fight with Lang.
Okay, he's now harassing Moonlight's villager who just wants to create another dock.
Paladin and Fire
And-
pretty equal fight, although Fire's getting the upper hand. Depends how quick. Yeah, Fire's reinforcing quicker as well. Fire's definitely got Paladin on water.
Yeah, Fire also was earlier on was a little bit, so of course he got those galleys out a little faster, and that's pretty big.
He's pushed him off.
Um,
And Wan is staying. Wan is going to go for those fish.
Yeah, Kwan is getting those fishing ships down, but they are Japanese fishing ships, so it actually takes a while to get them down. And in the meanwhile, Lang is chasing 2 of Kwan's fishing ships that way. I'm not sure if he wants to catch him or. What he might actually group his galleys and
Well,
take
one-
out these
yeah,
three
one
galleys
will-
for free.
Join back together and try and pick off Lang's galley. So it depends how quick Lang is watching you now. But he's also moving up towards Wan's
There.
docks on the right
All
side.
three of them are going to pocket. They're all trying to harass Moonlight and want to delay his castle time, and it seems to work pretty well. Moonlight is on 500 food right now, and half of his fishing ships are idle.
Paladins come back into the fight with Fire. So Fire
Yeah, that's
isn't-
probably because Fire sent quite an amount of galleys to Moonlight as well.
Yeah. They're massing around the back. I mean, Moonlight's still fishing quite well, but they've certainly hurt him and delayed him.
Paladin is... Okay, I want to say he was losing again from Fire, even though Fire sent a few galleys to help out at Moonlight, but...
Yeah.
Okay, he is reinforcing now, so it's actually going quite even, but we have to keep in mind Fire is actually harassing Moonlight as well, even though Moonlight has quite a high amount of galley production now.
Yeah. Now Fire's gonna have to GB from that.
Yeah, he's really getting outnumbered there, just throwing away most of his galleys, to be honest.
To go sending galleys in.
Not
Yeah,
sure
they-
where the Gauss troops are. I see 5
To go's
galleys
on
here,
top.
and
Yeah. He's on top of Moonlight's docks. Moonlight's still got a decent amount of fishing ships around the back. He's trying to chase Fire's galleys off.
but Moonlight is still at 500 food. That's quite far away from Castle.
Yeah. Well, he shifted a lot of fishing ships. One pushed him off first, and then Fire chased him off again. So as I said, that's really delayed him. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
indeed. A
anybody
lot of
else
food
is
denied, and
close.
that's a really good thing, because otherwise he would be castling now, and of course, the faster his castle, the earlier those powerful war galleys come out.
Look out.
And of course, the extra blacksmith upgrades as well.
The go's gonna be clicking up anytime soon. There he goes. The go's on his way up.
Okay, so Fire and Paladin are still going quite even. I would favor Paladin at this moment. But Fire is actually in between his fishing ships at the back with the galleys he retreated from Moonlight.
I think 2k4MyAss will be really happy with the position in at the moment, though. They seem to have a lot more control. And if you look at the actual military count, then they've definitely got a lot more. Easily 10 more between them, and the go's going to be castle age quicker.
Yeah, but we have to look at Fire and Paladin as well, because Paladin's really pushing out those galleys now. And he's
but
outnumbering
the Gau-
pretty hard.
Fire is bringing his troops back together, and you're going to end up probably with the go sending his galleys across that side to stop Paladin's push on Fire.
I feel like if Fire is going to reinforce with his other 5 galleys and gets a few more galleys out, he might actually be able to trap his galleys. But
Fire has
now-
to be careful here. He doesn't want to lose too many.
Yeah, he's fighting too early. He should have waited for those other galleys to arrive, because he's just throwing them in little groups. That's really painful.
The Gau doesn't seem to be sending any towards Fire's side. He's more interested in with the fight with Moonlight. But once the Gau hits Castle Age, Moonlight's not going to be far behind him. But yeah,
It's still
bit of a crucial
he
fight
could
up here.
use it. Ooh, Juan and Degao are going double on the Moonlight at this moment. And these are not even all of Degao's galleys, because he still has a few taking down this dock. I do not agree 100% on taking down that dock. Well, okay, he damaged it so much now that he should, but... Oh well.
I think if Fire stays in the game,
Lang is actually getting a transport ship. I can see Lang going to Juan's Island and actually getting up there. And he's almost up to Castle Age, whereas Lang haven't even... Oh no, so he already
they're
clicked up
both
as
close.
well.
Yeah, Wan and Lang are very close.
Yeah, but I wonder if he sees his transport ship come. Scout is patrolling the island, I think. But Juan's Island is pretty big, so it might be hard to find out the transport ship. Okay, War Galley is in for Big Hour now, so he has an edge. And we can see Moonlight obviously fleeing away from the stronger War Galleys and waiting out his own upgrade. He got his upgrade now, but I'm not sure whether he is outnumbered currently.
Well, with one there, he's definitely outnumbered.
Oh
He's
yeah, of course,
also
one is still
trying
at the back.
He's got the fishing ships there, though. They could distract. So yeah, Moonlight used his fishing ships to move back through.
Okay, Fire is up to Castle Age, but Paladin still isn't castling. So if Fire gets War Galleys out earlier, then he might actually have an edge.
Oh, they GB'd one and the Gao
Yeah,
on the left-hand side with Moonlight when they can both go in.
the Gao is really losing some galleys. Maybe they feared some more galleys from Paladin coming in.
But the Gao's got an awful lot here that he's not using at the moment. One GB in there because you can see that Lang definitely got more galleys.
Yeah, Moonlight seems to actually sandwich the galleys, but I'm not even sure. I don't think he's outnumbering him currently.
Fire just needs to survive at the top with enough of his army that when he hits Castle Age a long time before we go to Paladin's resources. He's on his way.
It's like what Fire is doing now, because he's initiating with a little amount of galleys at all times. And okay, sometimes he's picking one pretty well, but now he's just throwing away a few, and he's hitting Castle quite a bit earlier. But so he just has to save this fleet and get his War Galley upgrade. And
one and the Gao lost a lot. Lost down the bottom of. But the Gao is coming up now to double Paladin. If that times with Fire getting more galleys, then Paladin's going to be in trouble. Fire needs to.
Yeah, I think Paladin is just going to try and trade as much as possible with Fire and see if they can maybe even out their galleys instead of losing a lot of extra galleys to the War Galley. The War Galley is also coming in for Fire, whereas Paladin didn't even hit Castle Age yet.
No. But the Gao's trying to trap him, like he's trying to come up with Fire, but Paladin's running away now. He knows.
Yeah, the Gao
he
has 4 more War Galleys.
But he has to hit Castle Age and get the War Galley upgrade.
Bodkin Arrow is also coming in, really important as well for these water fights. Moonlight is trying to help out.
Yeah, Moonlight's trying to come up as well, but it depends. If Fire and the Gao's head back now, they're going to meet Moonlight themselves alone.
Okay, Juan noticed that Lang landed. And Lang is obviously, as Hans, going for Cav Archers. So he did not see this coming in the end, so this might be pretty painful for him. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised. If we see Lang use of War Galleys, most of them has been passive. I think he might be afraid to initiate a fight with Juan, as he obviously is investing resources in land as well due to his Cav Archers.
Yeah, Juan's definitely in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he only has 1 archery range up, where Lang has 3 archery ranges producing Cav Archers.
Plus,
he's losing a lot of villages here.
Plus Lang still has his villager building, and he's going to go siege and just build more and more.
Yeah, indeed. He's just going to get those own ages out to deal with his cavalry archers, with Juan's cavalry archers,
he's gonna end up
and
with his
maybe
own.
even take down the TC in the long run. Meanwhile, Fire is getting chased at the back of Paladin's Island. It seems like they want to regroup, but Moonlight is there as well. I think this is actually in the favor of Moonlight and Paladin.
Lang's just coming in to wipe out Juan's fishing as well.
And Juan and the Go are like, well, the Go sent some War Galleys to help out Juan to get his War Galleys down. Juan, Lang, so many names.
Yeah. Juan really needs to get Lang off his base pretty soon.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how he's going to do it, because Lang has way more production and probably is ahead on upgrades as well. Well, the good thing is he could move his economy to the back, but he only still has 1 archery range, so he isn't going to produce an awful lot. Oh, and here's the Mangonel. The question is, can he catch his Mangonel off guard?
Yeah,
Okay, he
had
got
the
a
shot.
Mangonel without losing his own one. That helps a bit, but one Mangonel
there's
isn't
so
going
many-
to deal with this amount of cav archers.
No, exactly. There's so many cow archers that.
And meanwhile, the fight between Moonlight and Fire, and yeah, the Go is there. It's also there, but not any longer, I think.
It looks
And
like
this
they've
isn't
got
even
more to be.
Paladin's fleet isn't even fully joined.
No, Fire's gonna be losing that fire on the go, I think, to Moonlight and Paladin.
Fire is going to lose pretty hard, I think, because Paladin
Paladin's
is getting
coming round
from
the
the back
back.
with even more galleys.
Yeah, they're gonna trap him there.
This seems pretty bad for Fire and Guan.
Yeah, they lost everything there.
Yeah,
To go on
Fire is
one,
simply running out of galleys. He's never going to produce enough to actually get back and win water.
well, the Gao has spent a lot and sent a lot around the right side of Wan's island, and he tried to also destroy Lang's landing from the shoreline, which he can't reach.
Yeah, the island of Guan is pretty big, really big enough to get two bases running
Will he
there.
get another shot? One more shot in.
Ooh, and Guan is actually fighting quite sloppy on the water with the Gao now versus Lang, because they're not really grouped at the moment and simply
he's-
losing a lot.
He's microing a lot at the same time on his base.
They are not really winning on water, nor on land.
It's gonna be the Gao again. The Gao needs to.
Yeah,
Carry-
the Gao really needs to do this, because I cannot really see Fire coming back into this game. He is getting some more galleys in the back, but he needs to invest so much wood in getting these new galleys and more dogs. And even then, he has to outnumber 2 people at the moment, and the Gao's War Galley production, it's okay, but it's all going south, not going to Fire.
Oh, he had one more nice shot then, one. That was worth the mangonel.
Yeah, the Mangonel certainly paid off. But I'm not even sure. Suppose Guan gets Lang off his island pretty easily. I'm not sure if they can control water. Because Fire is losing pretty badly, and they're not
The
really
Gao's-
winning against Lang either.
The Gao's just been turned back by Lang. And you've also got Moonlight coming in with a lot. Now, I can't. This is going to be extremely difficult for 2k4MyAss to turn this one around.
There's actually a transfer chief of Guan as well, and he brought some cav archers back to Lang, and he's like, hey, I can do what you can do. Getting some cav archers in these resources.
No villager though. So he's.
Yeah,
he's
he got a few villages, but indeed, he did not transport
yeah,
a
didn't-
villager.
didn't build anything on Lang's base.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of room to do so. Maybe on the left corner or something, but yeah, it's hard to scout.
It's always worth sending a couple of villagers though and taking that gamble. If you're going to land, try and build there so that you can do even more. Exactly like Lang did.
Yeah, indeed. And Lang had a really nice opportunity to do so, because the back of Guan was simply so open and no buildings at all.
And the whole water fight now, you've still got 3 Chinese players on water, and you've only got the Gao. So the Gao is going to end up overrun at some point.
Yeah, indeed. Fire has like 10 galleys at the moment. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe a bit more, but not an awful lot. And the Gao actually has a reasonable force now, but that can never meet the force of Moonlight and Paladin.
Fire's going to take an awful long time before he can even pick a fight.
Yeah, Paladin is really at his full Viking War Galley production. There's nothing he can do to really come back. He's
and-
trying to get more docks on the other side.
Paladin's on his way to Imperial as well. The Gao's just clicked up, but you got 3 Chinese on water and only the Gao left really
Yeah,
on
but
water.
if the Gao gets galleons, it's such a pain. I mean, Fire isn't really coming back then.
One's going to take his base back, but he needs to be docking the back now towards the Gao and rebuilding all of his water as well. The
Yeah, I
Gao
guess
is-
one will do fine in the end on
The
the
Gao
land.
is
but-
trying to join Fire at the top to try and hold off Paladin, but Paladin's going to be Imperial soon.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm not sure if the Ghost Imperial will do as much, because I think Paladin's fleet is currently 47 of size, and the Ghost is 50. Okay, so the Ghost has more galleys, but well, he isn't the Vikings.
One really needs to be water now. I don't know what his resources are looking like, but one needs to be docking in water, or hold up with the Gau's galleys, transport ship, and transport across and build everything on Lang's base.
Look at Moonlight harassing everything from Juan's base. Juan isn't really having an easy game.
No.
Same for Fire though.
As we said, this is all on the go.
I mean, Fire has a reasonable amount of galleys now, but it playing out isn't enough, because Paladin is simply producing as well, and
Paladin's...
he's even going to get an Imperial upgrade soon.
Paladin's Imperial now, so...
And Moonlight is getting Imperial as well. 3 Imperial versus 1 Imperial. 2 Imperial, I'm sorry. And this new TC from Juan on the gold is going to get harassed by Navy. Too easy.
Yeah, and he's never going to get that. He's also got all the cav archers to contend with. And Lang's still got a base there as well, so he can still produce more.
Yeah, indeed. I really thought he swept him off the island at a certain point, but nothing has last through.
This is going to need a miracle. I mean, Paladin can land fire at absolutely any time he wants.
Yeah, indeed. He simply controls this whole coast, and Fire simply cannot initiate because his force is lacking so much.
One really needed that to be a castle. A castle on his coastline.
Yeah, indeed, but I'm not even sure if that would fix all his problems. Well, Lang doesn't have a villager anymore on Juan's island, right?
No, he doesn't, but he's still able to produce cav archers.
Yeah, indeed, of course, the 2 archer ranges. He seems to be dealing with it with the rams, but...
He is dealing with it, but the problem is the Gau's left all alone on the water. While you've still got...
Yeah, indeed, that's the main problem here.
Yeah, you've still got 3 Chinese.
Fire is clicking up to Imperial, but the other guys are almost fully done researching galleons, and that's when they are going to make this push.
Yeah, I'm surprised Paladin has taken so long around the top side of Fire's island. I'm also surprised he hasn't landed.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised as well. I expected him... I know he is outnumbering Fire pretty hard, because he simply won that fight. Why isn't he picking off more docks to reduce his production? Just go around his island, try to harass as much resource as possible, because what he was doing here was simply destroying some houses, and okay, he got some pressure on his TC, but it isn't the most important thing. Okay, so Juan basically got Lang off his islands for real this time. 2 cav archers left, but now the real problem is getting the water back.
Yeah, that's the real problem. I mean, Paladin's finally come around the back of Fire's base.
The Go got 60 galleons, and
he's meeting Moonlight
78.
and Paladin at the moment in the middle of the map. If you look, Fire's starting to come down. Is he going to come? No, he's running the wrong way. So the Go has the GB. They're going to meet somewhere, I hope. Fire's just trying his best, obviously doing the right thing to keep as much of that galley army alive as possible.
Yeah, just to get them galleons, because fighting those galleons with war galleys with lesser numbers is just... You should not start doing that. You're just throwing away your units. He's just waiting for this Imperial Age to hit and upgrade to galleons, but... Man,
but I'll be
his
surprised.
main problem is getting away from this island.
I'd be surprised if Lang doesn't keep landing Juan again. I mean, as soon as they cover Juan's coastline, they're just going to land him again. They're not going to be able to get back into this game.
Yeah, I don't see a way for them to actually get back in this game unless someone really screws up his navy. If they just keep their galleys grouped in a reasonable manner, then there's no way they're going to lose this. Because the current galley count is, let me check, 190 for Moonlight, Paladin and Lang. And 116 for Juan, Fire, and a go. So that's a difference of almost 90 galleys.
Now Juan's base as well. I mean, he can hardly get on anything. And then when he does get on one bit, I like I said, he'll probably get landed again. Fire's gonna try now. I think Fire will pick off quite a few of Paladin's galleons here. He's coming up. He's come up and around that little small island, and Paladin has separated his army. So Fire might be able to push off.
Yeah, he can pick off some, and I think that's the only way to actually get back in this game. Just find these little fights where you have this advantage, pick off some galleys, and maybe you can even out the numbers and finally battle head on. Because what we're currently looking at, they're way back in the economy because they're getting harassed by galleons everywhere, and they're
quite a
already
nice fight for the girl though above Juan's base. They didn't join up straight away, Paladin and Moonlight, so the guy's picking a nice fight here, as long as he doesn't stay too long.
Yeah, indeed. That's a really nice fight for the girl, but he is really losing on the other side of Paladin as well. So I think the guy is going to lose his production soon as well, and as soon as he gets harassed on water, he simply has a planar problem, because he is the player keeping the other players alive. He's slinging them wood and gold. So they can also get this galley production. And I see a transport ship coming in. Moonlight going on the little island between Dago and Fire. Got the finishes, probably going to Castle, really nice point. And they're calling game.
Yeah, I don't blame them at all. There was no way they could come back through that. And that landing from Lang, as you said when you saw him with the ship, it's made a huge difference. Sorry guys, I didn't check the achievements.